Hello, my budgeting friends. How are you? Welcome back to Managing Mona's Moolah, or welcome if you're new. Welcome to my visitors. This channel is all about bi-weekly paycheck budgeting, paying off my mortgage early so I can retire early, and cash stuffing my savings challenges. If any of those topics interest you, I welcome you to join my channel. I'm very excited. I have a new paycheck to budget today, and I have a lot going on with this paycheck. So let's delve right into it. I hope every one of you is doing wonderful today. How's November treating you? We have Thanksgiving coming up, so I wish each of you a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll be the first to wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving. So isn't this beautiful? It's from my Happy Planner, and it says, have a grateful heart. And this is for November. As you know, I always start out by looking at my calendar. So this is my monthly November spread, and it tells me what bills I need to plan for with this paycheck. So we are November the 9th, paycheck that needs to be budgeted. So this November the 9th, I have to cover the water bill, the home security bill, the cell phone bill, and the internet bill. And I have to take my cat for a grooming next week, so I have to plan for that as well. And this paycheck will also cover through Thanksgiving, so I have to take that into consideration because my next paycheck will be received on the 24th. So this covers from November 9 through November 23. So once I have a good look at my calendar, I'll go ahead and set this aside. And as I mentioned earlier, just a little plug-in note, it is my 8-year anniversary in this home. 8 years living in this home. I'm aggressively trying to pay off that mortgage and documenting my journey here on YouTube. So I welcome you to join. So anyway, let's get right into the budget. I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. I'll start using that more intensely and thoroughly beginning in January. So I'm going to turn to November. This is a chunky workbook, so it stays on my desk. This was my last paycheck. I did not close it out in front of all of you, but I'm just going to briefly say that my anticipated and estimated buffer cushion in the account was $210.28, and that was an estimate again. And my actual buffer cushion turned out to be $177.71. I used the credit card, had to dip into that buffer a little bit, so that saved me. I didn't have my cash at the time. So I did close this out. My checking account did stay at $177.71 when that new paycheck hit my account. So let's go to November. This is paycheck number 1 for November 2023. And I hope the stickers do not distract you. I like to decorate with stickers. So the first thing that I always take into account is my buffer and my cushion, which is one and the same. So I always like to acknowledge that buffer. That is a cushion that stays in my checking account for minor emergencies. And that dollar value is $177.71. So that was the actual amount in my checking account when my paycheck was deposited. So here is paycheck number 1 for November. That paycheck date is November 9. This covers November 9 through November 23rd. This paycheck amount is always the same, $24.56.88. This is after all my deductions are taken out. So I am going to add these two items together. That's all the anticipated income that I have for the next 2 weeks. So $177.71 is $24.56.88. So that is an inflow total of $2,634.59. All right. So now that I have the amount that I'm working with, I know that that dollar value must cover this time frame. Any bills within that time frame must get paid from this paycheck. So the first thing is my water, sewer, trash, recycling bill. And I just put water, etc. This is due November 10. The budget amount is the actual bill amount. I always use my real numbers, $96.32. The second item is my home security bill. Also due on or about the 10th. And that bill is $66.48. The third bill I need to plan for is my cell phone bill. My share of that bill is due the 13th, and that is $63. And finally, my share of the internet bill, which is due on November 21st. My share is $50. So those are all my anticipated bills. These stay in my checking account. I do not take them out in cash. I from time to time, I will take out my cell phone and internet, but I tried it last month and it seemed to work fine. So I'm going to leave them in my checking account and they can just get paid from there. So I'm going to add these four bills together. $96.32 for water, sewer, trash, recycling. $66.48 for home security. $63 for my cell phone bill. $50 for my share of the internet, which is $275.80. And I am going to take that from my inflow total of $26.34.59. And I have a leftover of $2,358.79. Okay. All right, so I have my mandatory bills taken care of. That's the first thing that is paid out of the checking account. I'm going to bring this dollar value to my variable expenses, which is $2,358.79. All right, so this section, the variable expenses, this is where you can be flexible with your budget. First thing I like to plan for is my allowance. This is my personal spending, and I get to spend this money any which way I want to. So I don't track this. I don't want to feel restricted with this money. So this is my personal spending, and it's $50 a week. It's usually the same amount every payday. So I give myself some money to put in my wallet so I do not feel broke. Okay, so the second item is my groceries and food. This is for fast food, or if I want to go dine out at a restaurant, or if I go to the grocery store, and I usually plan $150. Next up is my fur kids. I think I have a little bit of money left in here so that I can take my cat to get groomed next week. I am setting aside $25 to add to this envelope. Next is my miscellaneous. And I like to put $20 usually. Next is my giving. And that will also receive $20. Next is fun. $20. And finally, I have my car juice, which is just gasoline for my car. I don't drive too much, but I still need to tuck money away for when I need to fill up, and I'm going to put $25. All right, that's all of the variable expenses that I predict over the next 2 weeks. This should last me. I probably won't spend it all, but that's okay. I like to have a little bit extra. That's always a good thing. So I'm going to add these things together. $100 for my allowance, $150 for groceries, $25 for my fur kids, $20 for miscellaneous, $20 for giving, $20 for fun, and $25 for gas or car juice. And that total, variable expenses total, is $360. I am going to subtract that from $23,58.79, and that leaves a leftover of $1,998.79. Okay, so this dollar value I'm bringing to my sinking funds section, $1,998.79. All right, so I didn't do my sinking funds last time because I had that huge mortgage payment coming out of my checking account. So now I get to save a little for my sinking funds. Okay, so the first one I plan for is my car insurance, and I am shopping around for a new insurance company. I want to insure my home and my car. If you know of any great suggestions, drop it in the chat. I'd love to see the different options and if you have good rates and good customer service. So I'm currently shopping around. I need to change. I don't like my existing company. I'm reserving $75 for my car insurance. I pay this bill once a year in February. Next is my health and beauty. I'm reserving $50 for my health and beauty. And then finally, I like to reserve a little bit of money for gifts. These are for certain holidays or birthdays during the year. And if at the end of the calendar year I have any money left over in this envelope, I will use it for Christmas gifts. I don't go overboard for Christmas. So for gifts this time, I'm going to reserve $25. This is all that I have for my sinking funds this time. So I'm going to add these together. $75 for car insurance, $50 for health and beauty, $25 for gifts. That totals $150. Subtracting that from my leftover up here of $1998.79. So that leaves a remaining amount of $1,848.79. Okay, so I'm going to bring that down to my extra debt. $1,848.79. So this is where I am going to plan to pay extra to my mortgage principal balance. So this is extra. And I am reserving $830 to apply to this loan. And if you watched my last mortgage update for November, you'll know where I got this $830 from. So let's plan for $830. So let me do a calculation here. So I have $1,848.79 minus $830 extra dollars going to that loan, which leaves a leftover of $1,018.79, and that will be brought to my extra savings, which is my favorite part of the budget. $1,018.79. So the first thing I want to plan for is my 100 envelope challenge. It's my 100 envelope savings challenge, and I'm going to reserve $100 for that. Next is my jar of hearts savings challenge. I have 9 more little hearts to color in, and I will complete that, but I am reserving $95 for this savings challenge. I have my Let It Bloom savings challenge, and I am reserving $55 for this savings challenge. So let me see how much I'm going to leave in my checking account as a buffer, and I will not leave that much money in the checking account. It has to get transferred out into my savings so I can earn a little bit of interest on that as well. So let me calculate this real quick. Let me subtract 100 for my 100 envelope savings challenge, 95 for my jar of hearts, 55 for Let It Bloom savings challenge, $768.79. I am going to transfer to savings $700. And my buffer, cushion that stays in my account will be $68.79. Okay, so let me add these together and see how much I am saving with this paycheck. So I have 100 for my 100 envelope, 95 for my jar of hearts, 55 for Let It Bloom, 700 going to my savings account, and I'm adding the $68.79, which will stay in my checking account for minor emergencies. It's my cushion, and that does indeed give me an extra savings total of $1,018.79. And if I subtract this from my leftover, I do get a zero-based budget. Yay! So this box down here where it says total inflow, this box here is a little formula, and it's a prompt for me to check my math. So what I'm going to do is just take the totals and make sure I did everything correctly. So I had an inflow total of $26.34.59. Let's subtract $275.80 for my bills and expenses. Let's subtract $360 for my cash, $150 for my sinking funds, $830 extra going to my mortgage principal, minus $1,018.79 in savings. So that does indeed get us to a zero-based budget. Yay, it worked out pretty good. So after I figure out my budget, I do write down my cost categories here, my cash categories, and I fill in the amounts, and then I figure out the denomination in which to take this money out of the bank. The budget mom placed a whole page of teller slips that we can use. So I usually take one of these out, take it to the bank. So if you'd like me to do this on camera, I certainly will. I just didn't want to make the video very long. But now that my budget is complete, I feel comfortable. I can move forward with my financial peace of mind, knowing that my bills will get paid, extra to debt, extra in my wallet, extra saving. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. If you liked it, come back next time. I wish you peace, and I wish you happiness and great health, and come back next time. I'll see you soon. Take care. Be kind. Bye.